Okay, so hello and welcome to our Zoom education session today called Alzheimer Society, How We Can Help. So my name is Shelby Berry and I'm an education coordinator here at the Alzheimer Society of Peterborough, Kawartha Lakes, Northumberland, and Haliburton. And to start, I want to thank you for joining us in this session today. And really, our session today is designed to help enhance your understanding of the various programs and services that we offer here at the Alzheimer Society of Peterborough. And we hope that when you leave this presentation, you will have a good sense of how we can help to support you throughout the dementia journey, whether you are someone who's living with dementia or you are supporting a family member or a friend who has dementia. So before we get going, just a couple of housekeeping items. So I recognize that throughout our discussion today, you may have a number of questions that come up. And just in the interest of time, and because I'm not always able to manage the chat while presenting, I would ask that you can hold your questions until the end. You are welcome to write them in the chat, as you think of them. And I will make sure that I take some time to check that at the end of the presentation. So I want to thank you in advance for that. And just for your patience while I'm managing the Zoom side of things while also presenting the content. So let's get started. So we're going to start our presentation today with a land acknowledgement. So the Alzheimer Society of Peterborough, Kawartha Lakes, Northumberland, and Haliburton respectfully recognizes that our organization is located on the treaty and ancestral territory of the Michi-Sagig and Anishinaabe people, who are known as peacemakers among Indigenous nations. We are grateful to the original stewards of this land. It is our goal for this land acknowledgement to be an active living statement of intent, which will build a bridge toward greater understanding and inclusion. This is the start of a conversation, and we intend to listen and learn. So let's start off by telling you a little bit about our story. So the Alzheimer Society has been around for longer than you probably suspected. So the Alzheimer Society of Canada was founded in 1978, and it was established when researchers at the University of Toronto and Surrey Place Centre, who were investigating Alzheimer's disease at the time, they became deeply concerned when they noticed that there was a lack of support available to families affected by the disease. So the three major goals of the organization at the time were identified as family support, education, and research. Our local Alzheimer's Society informally came together when a small group of concerned volunteers and caregivers, again, were wanting the community to have some support. So we were informally established in 1979 and did not become officially incorporated until 1983. Volunteers were really kind of the driving force behind the Peterborough and area chapter, which at that time covered the counties of Peterborough, Northumberland, and Haliburton. And then there was also at the time a Victoria County chapter, which covered what is now known as the city of Kawartha Lakes. So since then, these two organizations have become one with an amalgamation in 2010, which resulted in the society that we have today. So as many of you know, our main office is located in the lower level of the Peterborough Square Mall in the heart of downtown Peterborough. However, it's really important to note that our staff do travel throughout our 4 counties, throughout that catchment area, to deliver our programs, to meet the support needs and field requests for education and support across these communities. And while initially focused on supporting the needs of caregivers who are and those living with Alzheimer's disease, as mentioned earlier, the organization now provides services to those impacted by any form of dementia, as well as their family members and their care partners as well. And that picture there, you can see our staff at the most recent Walk for Alzheimer's, which was held at Trent University in May. So the Alzheimer Society of Peterborough, Kawartha Lakes, Northumberland, Haliburton provides services within our local communities to those who are impacted by Alzheimer's disease or other dementias. We provide programs and support services to help people living with all forms of dementia. And we also provide caregivers and family members with information, education, and resources to help them support someone who's living with dementia in their life. These services are designed to help provide support through all stages of the dementia journey. And for the most part, our services are free of charge. There's only a small fee included with one of our programs. We are proud to say that the Alzheimer Society strives to be a low barrier service organization. So we serve both people living with dementia and care partners as clients. In fact, a large portion of what we call our client base are care partners. So supporting the care partners throughout this journey as well. No diagnosis is required to become one of our registered clients. And we serve people who have a diagnosis of dementia, of mild cognitive impairment, or maybe simply have concerns about their memory. We also encourage healthcare providers and community partners to refer appropriate clients to our services, but we also encourage and accept self-referrals as well. So people can just pick up the phone and call us if they have any concerns or if they're interested in accessing our programs and services. And as I mentioned, there's little to no cost to our programs and services. The only service that includes a fee is our popular Minds in Motion program, which charges $20 a person or $40 a couple for an 8-week program. So we will highlight that program a bit more in today's session, but also Minds in Motion is not a cost prohibitive for clients that cannot afford it. So we make sure that they're still able to attend. So here's a nice visual of our service model and kind of what that looks like. So to review this, we often receive referrals. So as mentioned, this referral might be from a healthcare provider, perhaps a doctor, a geriatrician, a nurse practitioner. But this referral can also be a self-referral. So a family member that's, concerned about the memory of, a spouse, or if someone's concerned about their own memory, can just pick up the phone and give us a call. Our intake coordinator, Casey, is usually the first person that you will contact or be connected with. So Casey takes those referrals from professionals and connects with those on the referral form, and usually within 3 days. And she reviews the supports that are available. And similarly, if you called and you're interested in our services, that self-referral, you would be connected with Casey as well. If Casey determines that more intensive supports are required, that case may be assigned to one of our First Link navigators. So as we can see there, our First Link navigators are equipped to support more complex situations that may involve maybe complex family dynamics or elder abuse or safety risks. Otherwise, if none of that is involved, Casey will usually assign that case to one of our family support counselors. And our family support counselors, our team of staff here, are able to provide ongoing support for the clients and can connect them to all of the available and appropriate services that we have. So it might be a support group, it might be an education program, and perhaps a social recreation program. And as we'll learn more during this presentation about what our family support counselors do, they are also available for a lot of one-on-one support as well. You may also notice from this service model that there isn't really a service model with a focus on discharge. And the reason for that is that many of our clients remain with us throughout the entire dementia journey. So they continue to take different education programs. Maybe they continue to be part of their support group or become involved in different social recreation programs. So many of our clients are with us for many years as we support them through that dementia journey. So as I mentioned in that service model, after a referral is made, whether that's a self-referral or a professional referral, you will be connected with our intake coordinator, Casey, who is, again, often the first point of contact at the Alzheimer Society. So Casey can connect you with the right person and the right resources and the right programs to meet your needs. And as she says here, she says, my job is to connect with you to learn your unique story with dementia. I'll then match you with the best member of our Alzheimer Society team to support you and your family. So no cost to that, no strings, just the help that you need. And some of you may have already had the pleasure of talking with Casey, and perhaps she's the one that mentioned today's presentation with you. So she's a big part of our team. So in general, as a whole, the Alzheimer Society provides support with information about, the process of getting a diagnosis and navigating the healthcare system. We provide support with understanding dementia symptoms and coping strategies, ways to live well with dementia. We also provide support with caregiver health and well-being through various programs that we have. We can provide information on staying safe in the home and in the community. We can also help with things to consider when planning for the future and advanced care planning. And we can also help connect and suggest other resources and services in the community that might be helpful or might be part of your process of navigating through the dementia journey. So the way that we provide this support can be broken down into 3 different categories or 3 different areas. So we have supportive counseling, education, and social recreation. So let's take a closer look at each of these areas of our programs and services. And we'll also meet some of the friendly faces that offer these programs or who you're likely to cross paths with. So here we have our team of family support counselors who provide supportive counseling. So our family support counselors provide ongoing one-on-one support. So this team provides support for care partners and individuals living with dementia throughout that dementia journey. So this can include assistance with things like understanding and managing the symptoms of dementia, understanding progression, and what to expect, maybe planning for the future or help with navigating the healthcare system, and maybe making suggestions or referrals to other community partners. Our family support counselors also facilitates many of our monthly support groups as well. So they're a big part of that program that we have as well. Many of our clients find it really, really comforting to know that if they have a question or if they're noticing a change that they're unsure of how to respond to, that their family support counselor is only a phone call or an email away, or they can even arrange a time to sit down and talk with them. Your family support counselor over time really gets to know your story, so it can be a really great way to ask questions, access help without having to repeat your story, over and over again. They get to know you well in that way. As we see there, supportive services also include monthly support groups for care partners. So these support groups are offered virtually or in person across our 4 county service area. And support groups really offer an opportunity for our clients to meet with others who are in a similar experience. It's a place where you can express, how you're feeling and your emotions, and also share helpful tips and coping strategies and hear helpful tips and coping strategies from others, things that they're trying. Many people who attend a support group for the first time, they often leave the group feeling, like they're not alone. Because sometimes we can feel that way, in this process, and being with a group of people who are currently in a kind of a similar lived experience can be really comforting to know you have that space that you can talk openly each month. So moving to our education category, the Alzheimer Society provides many educational opportunities for people living with dementia, for caregivers and family members, and for other community service providers. So education really is an essential tool for managing the changes that can come with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. And education within our communities is also a really important part of raising awareness, of reducing stigma, and also of building dementia-friendly communities. So here you can see the members of our education team that maybe you've crossed paths with already, or if you take education at some point, you probably will meet some of these friendly faces. So much of our education we provide is geared specifically to people living with dementia and their care partners. So these programs are offered through what we call our First Link Learning Series, which is a set of workshops that was designed by the Alzheimer Society of Ontario and are offered across, all different Alzheimer Society chapters in our province. And they're designed to help people to understand the disease, to gain insights, into some of the underlying changes that are happening in the brain, to learn coping strategies for adapting to the changes, and to developing plans for the future. So many of these client education programs are offered in person throughout our 4 counties. And so you might see something that's maybe coming up in your service area, and we'll go into a bit more detail about these specific programs. We also have virtual webinars like the one that you are on today that can be really helpful for our clients who prefer to access education from the comfort of their own home. The EDDI program is a new, exciting virtual reality dementia education program that I will highlight in a bit more detail shortly, but it's something that's relatively new, and again, we're excited about that. And we also provide many learning opportunities to community groups through which people can learn more about how to help people living with dementia in our community and be more dementia friendly. And another big part of our professional training is providing this professional training and ongoing learning to healthcare providers and emergency responders. So we do have some certification programs that our education team is trained to give to healthcare providers and community agencies. So as you can see, we offer a wide range of education to a wide range of audiences, but we're going to take some time now to focus more specifically on the education programs that are available to those living with dementia and their care partners who are accessing our services. So you will notice over the next few slides that the education programs have been broken down into specific categories based on the stage or progression of dementia. So our clients often access a variety of education programs over time as the disease progresses and as the content of the program meets their specific needs for education at that time. So your family support counselor, who we highlighted a couple of slides ago, Your family support counselor is a great guide for helping you understand, and they'll recommend which programs may be a best fit for you throughout the different stages of dementia. So to start, we have an education program called Learning the Ropes that's for people living with mild cognitive impairment and their family members. So you might be wondering what mild cognitive impairment is. So people who are living with mild cognitive impairment, it's sometimes called MCI for short, may have problems with memory, language, thinking, and judgment that are greater than the cognitive changes associated with normal aging, but not as severe as the cognitive changes that can happen with dementia and dementia symptoms. So usually people with MCI, it's not serious enough to interfere with their daily life or their independence, as might be the case with dementia. Someone with MCI is also at an increased risk of that developing into dementia. So with the Learning the Ropes program, for those who have received a diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment, this program is designed to provide education, strategies, and support for the person with MCI. So the program focuses on optimizing cognitive health through things like lifestyle choices, memory training, and that psychosocial support of being around other people with a similar diagnosis. So that's a program that we have for people with MCI. We also have a series of programs for people living with dementia and their family members. And for those living with dementia, these are people living with dementia who are in that mild or early stage of dementia. So the First Steps program is one of the learning series that I spoke of earlier. And this is a 4-part or 4-week education series that helps people living with dementia and their care partners to understand their diagnosis, understand some of the changes that they're experiencing. It provides them an opportunity to share their experience with others and talk about how they're adapting to the changes and what factors they might want to consider when planning ahead and how they might build a circle of support. So that's a program for people living with dementia to attend with their family members. Taking Control of Our Lives is an 8-week self-management program for people with early stage dementia and their care partners to attend together. And the goal of this program is to help both the person living with dementia and the care partner develop positive strategies for managing their condition. So each week, we talk about a specific topic that people living with dementia who develop the program have identified as really important to them. So topics such as adapting to the brain changes, communicating with others, safety, independence, and decision-making, in one's life, grief and loss. These are all examples of specific topics that would be discussed over that 8-week period in our time together. The whole goal of the program is to help those living with dementia live well with dementia and connect them with other people who are living with dementia as well. We also have some programs for care partners. So First Steps for Care Partners is very similar to the First Steps program that I just mentioned, but it is the same program, but specifically for care partners only. So sometimes we find that we have a number of care partners who are kind of starting out in this process, and they want that early stage education, but the person living with dementia is maybe not able or not willing to come to that education. So sometimes we offer that session solely to care partners. We also have a group of education programs that are more geared to care partners who are supporting someone in the middle stages of dementia. Care Essentials is one of our learning series, again, a 4-part learning series that focuses more on how to support someone who's living with or living in the middle stages of dementia. So in this program, we talk about things like learning more about those brain changes. We talk specifically about communication strategies, and how to support the person living with dementia with activities of daily living. So maybe there's been some changes with their ability to manage, their personal care, for example. So we would talk about strategies for supporting them in that. So a very, very popular program that we have that really focuses on a lot of strategies and techniques and answers questions that people have about supporting someone through those middle stages. What's it like for Eddie is our virtual reality workshop, which again, I'm going to kind of feature on its own slide in just a moment. And the last program here, You First for Care Partners, is an education program for family and friends who want to learn more about supporting someone with responsive behaviors. So we're seeing some maybe more significant behavior change with the dementia in those maybe middle to later stages of dementia. So the goal of this program is to help care partners identify a specific behavior change that they are finding challenging. And we use the You First framework, which is a framework that is often used in healthcare, to create a support plan to help that care partner better understand and respond to that behavior change that they're looking to address and respond to. We also have a range of education programs available to help care partners plan for the future. So we have a workshop called Creating a Backup Plan for Care. So this is a workshop where we kind of think about what would happen if I, the primary caregiver or support, was not available to provide that care. So we invite care partners to come and kind of create a plan or start thinking about, what would I put into place if I wasn't available to provide that care, whether it was something that happened on the short term or not able to provide that care in the long term. Help in the Home is a great program for creating a plan for supports. So what I mean by that is kind of figuring out who's in my circle of support, what resources are available in the community, that can help me as I support the person living with dementia. And then we also have programs geared towards, that time when maybe care needs are increasing and we're starting to think, I'm not sure if I'm able to manage all of this at home, and I need to learn a bit more about what some of the next steps might be. So Considering Residential Care Options is a program where we talk about retirement and long-term care homes and options. We define the difference between the two so people better understand that. And then we also have a program about long-term care specifically. So what does that process look like to apply for long-term care? And also how can I help the person with dementia transition to that long-term care setting? So those are all separate programs that we offer that we kind of group under that planning ahead category. We also have what we call kind of a self-care or self-management program for care partners called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. And this program is designed to help care partners take better care of themselves through the use of, different tools and strategies that address the unique challenges of their caregiving situation. So this is another one that I think occurs over the course of 6 weeks. And over that time, the care partners that attend learn a variety of different strategies that they might be able to, implement in their daily life. Moving on through the different stages and the education that goes with that. So for care partners who are supporting someone in the later stages of dementia, we have a 3-part education series called Care in the Later Stages. And this is to help family members and friends of people living with dementia understand what to expect in those later stages or end of life stages of dementia. And again, provide them with some knowledge and strategies for how they can continue to support the person in those late or end of life stages. And then lastly, we also provide a variety of education to our clients and to community organizations within our 4 counties on a number of different topics related to dementia. So just to name a few here, we provide education on topics like ambiguous loss and grief in dementia, topics specific to driving in dementia, enhancing communication, or how we might understand some of the behavior changes. So this is just a small list of many topics, and we're always open to kind of tailoring the topics as well to the needs of our clients and any community organization that might be requesting education. So as I've kind of been alluding to, we are also extremely excited to be promoting our newer virtual reality dementia program called EDDI. So EDDI is an acronym that stands for Educational Dementia Immersive Experience. So this program was actually developed by Dementia Australia, and we are really, grateful to Dementia Australia to be able to purchase the rights for the program off of them. And we are the only Alzheimer Society in Canada who has our own rights to offer the program here. And we are only the second organization or facilitators in the whole country to have this program. So with this program, virtual reality technology is used to give participants the experience of seeing through the eyes of someone living with dementia. So in our mind, we see there's no better way to kind of building that understanding of the realities of the disease and to help reduce stigma than providing an opportunity for people to kind of experience or feel what that might be like firsthand. We've already been using EDDI to spread awareness at the provincial level. So in the image on the screen, you can actually see MPP Sylvia Jones of Dufferin-Caledon wearing one of our virtual reality headsets and taking in a demo of the EDDI program. And MPP Jones is also our Provincial Minister of Health. So it's a great thing that she was able to experience this EDDI demonstration. So the overall goal of this program, again, is to provide participants with a better understanding of dementia from the perspective of someone that may be directly impacted by dementia. So the virtual reality scenario and program helps the participant to see the world through the eyes of someone living with dementia. And the person living with dementia in the program is also named EDDI. So another reason that they called the program EDDI. So there are 3 different EDDI workshops that we offer. We have one for family members and care partners of people living with dementia, one for healthcare professionals and community service providers, and one for businesses. So you can see there that there is a website, enablingeddi.ca, if you're interested in learning more. I also will be kind of mentioning different websites and links throughout this presentation. But what I will do is actually just send you an email with any of the links that I mention, so that you aren't trying to chaotically open them all in the chat at the end of this presentation. So no worries, I will get any links that I mention to you. So I've mentioned a lot of different education programs to you. So with this being kind of the start of what we call our fall education schedule, we have a number of education programs that we are offering between September and December. So here you can see some of our upcoming education opportunities coming up this fall for our virtual education. So these are the different topics that we will be highlighting throughout September and October. If you are interested in registering for any of these, all of the information is available for registering on our website. And again, I will email you the link so that you can look at all of the things that we're offering on our website after the presentation is over. We also offer in-person education opportunities that are coming up this fall. So Perhaps when I was just doing an overview of those education programs, there was a specific program that maybe caught your eye. So it may be offered throughout our 4 counties or somewhere in our 4 counties between now and December. So you can see here that we have the First Steps program coming up in Peterborough starting next week. We have the EDDI program being offered in Peterborough, Haliburton, and Port Hope soon. And we also have a session on transitioning to long-term care coming up in Cobourg and Lindsay. The Care Essentials Learning Series that I mentioned, which was more for supporting someone in the middle stages of dementia. We have a session coming up in Cobourg and one in Peterborough. We also have a newer session, which I did not specifically mention because it is newer to us, which is on being prepared. So what happens when a person with dementia goes missing? So that's being offered in Peterborough in October. A session on applying to long-term care in Campbellford in November. And we also have a travel talk coming up in Port Hope. So if you are interested in learning more about travel for seniors or people living with dementia, that will be coming up at the library in Port Hope in November. So again, if anything here has caught your attention, I will certainly send that link to you so you can look into registering. So that was a lot of education to go over, and now I'm going to take some time to highlight our social recreation programs. So we offer several beloved social recreation programs, including our Minds in Motion program, our Young Onset Day Service, our in-home recreation program, our walking club, which we call Soulmates Walking Club, and we also have our night out socials. So I'm going to highlight each of these. And as you can see here, we have our social recreation team. So Jen and Mel are our enthusiastic Minds in Motion coordinators, and Joanne and Jen are our day service coordinators. So we'll highlight some of their programs here. So first off is Minds in Motion. So the Minds in Motion program is a wonderful program to begin your experience here at the Alzheimer Society. This program does not focus on a diagnosis of dementia, but rather the focus is on keeping physically and mentally active. The Minds in Motion program is an 8-week program designed for a person living with dementia and their care partner to attend together. It features 1 hour of energized physical activity at your own pace and 1 hour of social engagement. And guaranteed there's a lot of laughter in this program. It's a really great way to make friends who understand and have a shared experience. And if we have someone that we're supporting who's living with dementia that wants to get involved in something that isn't focused on dementia, it's a really, really great starting point. Our Minds in Motion coordinators, Jen and Mel, they are kind, compassionate, and they are known to be quite entertaining. So they keep the sessions light, fun, and again, laughter is always guaranteed. So if you're curious about the program, they welcome you to try it out. The Minds in Motion program is the one I mentioned that has a small fee to cover the cost of the service. So the cost is $20 a person or $40 a couple for the 8-week program. And what we do find is that many couples continue to return to the program again and again after each 8-week session finishes. So it has become the highlight of many people's week. So the best way to probably give you an idea of what this program is like is to hear what the participants are saying. So here we have some testimonials about the Minds in Motion program. So Val said, Dave certainly was in his element. You wouldn't believe the difference when he comes to Minds in Motion. He really comes out of his shell. I so enjoy your class. It is my fun social time and something that Dave and I do together. Don't know how we would manage without you girls. Caregiver Victoria said, I just wanted you and Jen to know that I love this program and that although Mom gives me a hard time about going, she likes it once she is there. Everyone is so friendly and welcoming, and there's always laughter and lots of kindness and caring. So sometimes there's a concern of, oh, I can't get them to go to the program or they won't go to the program. But what many people find is that once the person is there, they often, really enjoy their time there. And the last testimonial here from Barb says, "Thanks so much for an interesting and informative year of exercise and socializing with Minds in Motion. We enjoyed meeting with others going through a similar situation in a relaxed, fun environment. It has kept us from being further isolated during a difficult time in our lives." So there we see that Barb called it an informative year, which implies that they likely signed up, you know, from one session right into the next one, and we're doing the program through the year. So if you meet anyone that's in the Minds in Motion program, they usually have very high praise for the program itself. The next program of our social recreation programs is the Young Onset Day Service. So this program is designed for individuals diagnosed with dementia before the age of 65. And it's a small group program that involves outings in the community, music and art-based activities, group meals, and volunteering in the community. So the day service currently runs in Peterborough, Lindsay, and Cobourg. So I think the best way to learn more about the day service is through this video, which features Joanne and Jen, the day service coordinators, as they answer some common questions that people ask about the day service. One thing to mention about this video is this video was made before the day service expanded into Cobourg. So they will mention that the day service is available in Peterborough and Kawartha Lakes or in Lindsay, but it has since expanded into Cobourg. But let's meet and hear from Joe and Jen.
Hi, I'm Joe.
Hey, I'm Jen.
Hi, I'm Joe.
Hi, I'm Jen.
I'm Bob McKenzie.
Okay, this is the real one.
This is the real one. Hi, I'm Joe.
Hi, I'm Jen.
Welcome to the day program. We make our schedule up with the group, and so the group gets to put in some input about what they're interested in, as well as we like to incorporate exercise, community outings.
We have gone bowling, and we've built gingerbread houses because it was Christmas. We've done quite a bit of yoga.
We've gone to the airport for a tour.
We did an airport tour and a lunch, which was really good, and we were able to sit in the plane and look at all the different ones. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of fear or unknown by coming to the group. And then once they've had that first experience even, and the second and the third and the fourth, they're like, I don't know how I survived before without it. Like they look forward to coming to it every week, and the people, and you can just see the connection and the care that they have for each other within the group. So I think it's just taking that step and getting over your fear and maybe pushing yourself a little bit to just go meet some new people, try something new, and I don't think they ever have regretted doing it.
The program is helpful for the clients because they get to have something that's their own. They get to see new things out in the community.
I think a huge piece is not feeling lonely and alone. I think the social aspect is huge for a lot of people that are feeling isolated.
Yes.
And this program shows them or reminds them of what they're missing, and then they look forward to coming every single week because of that.
If it's your first day, you can expect we'll have some introductions. We always start the day with coffee and tea, a little social, and a healthy snack. We always have up a program for the day or a list of the activities for the day.
The agenda is posted.
The agenda is posted. So you can expect to have an outing or an activity in the morning. We have lunch and then usually another activity or event in the afternoon.
Yeah, so we offer the programming currently in Lindsay and Peterborough. So anybody that's in those areas or feels is the closest for them to come is eligible. And then the goal is obviously to expand this program to multiple cities as we grow.
Our program is best suited for people who are diagnosed before the age of 65 with any form of dementia. We're very much looking forward to you joining us in the day program.
Yes, we are.
Hi, I'm Joe. Oh wait,
Peace
can I
out.
do that? Bye. Hi.
All right, so hopefully that gave you a good idea of not only what's entailed with the young onset day service, but also, you know, the fun-loving personalities of both Joe and Jen. So moving along with our social recreation programs, volunteer power is also a very important part of our organization, as volunteers are an integral part of our in-home recreation program and also our walking club program. So Maddie, our volunteer engagement coordinator, is the lead on recruiting and training and matching interested volunteers with each of these programs. So our in-home recreation program is a volunteer-based program. So in-home recreation volunteers are those who are willing to share their time to make a difference in the life of someone living with dementia. So volunteers visit with the person living with dementia usually once a week in the person with dementia's home. And the volunteer will engage that person in meaningful activity during that visit. So in addition to the companionship that's provided, this program will also provide, you know, an hour or two of relief for the caregiver. So again, during this visit, the person with dementia and the volunteer will engage in meaningful activities, whether that's friendly conversation, maybe a shared hobby, reading, playing cards, maybe going for a walk, or, you know, another mutually agreed upon activity, all while kind of developing that friendship. So the goal of the program is really companionship. There's no element of, you know, personal care involved or anything like that. The goal is really that companionship. And again, the visits usually happen about once a week for about 2 hours. And they can be scheduled during the day, maybe the evening or the weekend, depending on the volunteer's availability. And again, this is a program that has no fee for the service. And clients will go through an assessment process to ensure that the program is the best option for them. And volunteers will also go through a screening process to ensure that clients will be matched with the best possible volunteer for them. Our Soulmates Walking Club is a social walking group that meets weekly on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock in the morning for a leisurely indoor stroll. So this walk is held indoors at the Lansdowne Place Mall. So those walking can have the opportunity to browse stores, you know, walk and socialize with others and sit and have a coffee afterwards. So the group again is led solely by Alzheimer Society volunteers, and participants often walk together for about an hour and then sit and have a coffee together in the food court afterwards. So it's a really great program, especially, you know, this time of year as we are slowly getting into the colder season, and as winter comes where maybe walking outside isn't as easy or as safe. This provides a nice place where we can do that while also connecting with others. So this program is for individuals who are maybe experiencing some cognitive change, maybe they have a diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's disease, and it's also their care partners are also welcome to join the group for the weekly walks. Participants must be able to engage independently in this program, or else they will need to be accompanied by a care partner. So with so many social recreation programs and so many social recreation program participants, many people in our programs have formed lasting bonds and friendships at the program. So our day program coordinator, Joe, decided to organize an event that allowed people to gather together and have basically a night out together. So it was that initiative, a way for people to enjoy a night out with friends in a space that they knew would be dementia friendly and welcoming, and they'd be surrounded by other people living with dementia and care partners. So the first event was held at our office in 2022, but it didn't take long for the event to outgrow our office as over 50 participants started to attend. So at these night outs, participants enjoy a nice catered meal. They have the opportunity to connect with other people who are, accessing many of the same programs that they are. And the event is full of laughter and usually ends with a lot of dancing. So the event is really a wonderful reflection of the community that is created in our social recreation programs. So at Christmas time, the group also wanted to help the community by bringing a toy for the toy drive. So you can see how many toys they donated to our community there. And as I mentioned, the night usually ends with dancing and a lot of laughter. So there's a little video here of that dancing at the end. So a short and sweet video, but also again, the community that is built in our social recreation programs is really, really evident at these night out events. Again, that we've had to take off-site because they've grown in such popularity. So that kind of wraps up an overview of the supports available from the Alzheimer Society. For more information and details about each of the programs that I spoke about, you can visit our website and take a look at our program guide. So again, for anyone that's attending today, I will have your email address and can send a link to this program guide in a follow-up email. But this program guide provides a really thorough overview of all of the different programs that we talked about today. So it's a great way for kind of getting an idea of which program might be a good fit for you. If there is a program that you've seen today that you are really interested in, there's a couple of different ways that you can either register for or inquire more about that program. If you are not a client with the Alzheimer Society yet, you would just give us a call and you would speak with our intake coordinator, Casey, and she would be able to help you out and get you started. If you are already connected with us, so perhaps Casey told you about this presentation today, or you've already spoken with Casey and you have a family support counselor, then your family support counselor is the person that you would connect with to guide you through the registration or helping you know if a program that you're interested in is a good fit for where you're at. If you're unsure of who your family support counselor is, that is no problem. That happens a lot. You can always just call the office, and if you are a client with us, we can easily look you up and connect you with the person that's assigned as your family support counselor. So again, this program guide is a really good overview of the different programs that were talked about today. Now, another important thing for accessing our programs and services is staying connected with us. So there are a few ways that you can stay connected with us. The first is getting connected with one of our family support counselors. Again, a family support counselor is that person that can be that phone call away or that email away if you need someone to brainstorm with about a change, or if you are interested in accessing an education program or a social recreation program, they can help to get you registered for that program. Another way to stay in the loop of all of the stuff that we have coming up. So we went over those slides earlier with all of the upcoming education. If you want to make sure that you're up to date on anything that we are offering, it is best to subscribe to our monthly e-newsletter called Our Connections Matter. It's a newsletter that, again, will land in your inbox each month, and it will highlight everything that's coming up. So again, in that follow-up email to you, I will give you the link for how you can subscribe to that. It's as simple as just filling out your first name and last name and email after you click on the link that I send you, and then you'll be getting all of that news. And then our website also always has our education opportunities listed there. So you can always visit that and see what's coming up as well. But that e-newsletter is the best way to kind of always be in the know about what is coming up. So, if you care for someone with dementia or someone who's experiencing changes with their memory, or you're worried, about yourself, the Alzheimer Society can help. So again, no diagnosis is necessary. You do not need to have a professional referral. You can just pick up the phone and call us. So if you have not called us, you are welcome to please give us a call and chat with our intake coordinator, Casey. So what I'm going to do at this point is turn off the recording, and then I'll take a moment to stop sharing the screen so we can see each other and answer any questions that you have, because I see lots of questions coming in on the chat. So let me just figure out how to stop this recording, and then we are good to go.